Esmond. I'm here with your USFL Conference Championship Weekend free picks, part of the stable of sports prognosticators here on Winners and Winers who want to make you better betters. Last week, one up and one down for me. I had the Gamblers covering plus 3.5 against the Breakers, and the Stallions covering minus 3.5 against the Bandits of Tampa Bay. Both teams did exactly what I expected and what I predicted. The Stallions played most of their starters, wanted to go into the playoffs on a winning note, and they did exactly that. They won, but they won by 3, not 3.5, and failed to cover. God, I hate losing on the hook. Ugh, just drives me crazy. And the Breakers, as I suspected, rested most of their starters, including their first and second quarterbacks, first and second string, neither one whom played. And they lost handily to the Gamblers, they lost handily, and they didn't cover. And so what we had is one up and one down for me, with the Breakers losing by a wide margin to the Gamblers, who, as I said, not only covered, but won the game outright. Did I say I hate losing on the hook? Unfortunately, sports books are not selling points on USFL games. So whatever spread it is that you have, that's what you've got. And you've got to watch out for that hook. And unfortunately, both games this weekend have a hook. They're both 4.5. But I've got a strategy for us to get 2 winners this weekend on the USFL championship games in the conferences. So let's, by the way, remember to hit the bell, like, subscribe, send me your comments so we can keep the dialogue going and I can keep bringing you these great bets. Okay, so Saturday at noon, the first playoff game in the USFL features the Philly Stars going against the Generals of New Jersey. The Generals lost their opening day game, but they have not lost since, reeling off 9 straight wins. They feature strong quarterback play from Luis Perez, and they also get some contribution from the other quarterback, Johnson, off the bench. They have a very strong running game, and they have 2 out of 4 running backs in the USFL that have garnered more than 500 yards each on the ground. The Generals' defense is also solid, allowing only 17 points per game. The Philly Stars have not beaten a team with an above 500 record all season. They've beaten up on bad teams. They got the Maulers twice. They got the Panthers twice. Both those teams stink. And when they've played teams with an above 500 record, the Generals and the Stallions, they've lost. This is a mismatch. The Generals are going to dominate this game as long as they don't turn the ball over repeatedly. So I'm taking the Generals here minus the 4.5. Tampa Bay Breakers are taking on the Birmingham Stallions. The Stallions started the season like a house of fire, reeling off 8 straight wins, but they lost in week 9 and had to play most of their starters in week 10 to win by 3 and still not cover against the Bandits. Now they face a Breakers team who have the best defense in the USFL, allowing less than 15 points per game. But the Stallions' defense is second best, allowing only 16 points per game. These two teams met just a couple of weeks ago in week 8. It was a defensive struggle, with the Stallions winning 10-9. I see a similar outcome here, but the wild card is this. Kyle Sloter has had 2 weeks to get healthy, and he's been banged up all season. They rested him all last week, so if he's a little healthier, he might play even better in this game. And I think there's an outside chance the Breakers could win. But either way, I like the New Orleans Breakers plus the 4.5 to cover here. So the 2 picks, Generals of New Jersey minus 4.5 against the Philly Stars, and the Breakers plus 4.5 against the Stallions, who just have kind of been stumbling of late, and the Breakers have been pretty hot. So those are your 2 picks for the USFL this weekend. Don't forget, you can hear me discuss these picks on the Steer the Line broadcast with the rest of the STL crew, Jeremy, Rocky, and Christian, Friday nights live on YouTube at Steer the Line and on the Max Wagers Network. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. And for those of you in SoCal, you can listen to the Steer the Line radio show, KMET Radio 1490, Friday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm Loud Esmond for Winners and Whiners, making you a better.